space. This is nice and quiet. It's very secluded.
And it's the same temperature.
I like it.
You might get drift on if it's raining. And
That's fine.
you can see that the water carved the passageway. You see the smooth effect, the jagged rock, the exposed rock, then you know man took some out to give us a little more space. And this is called Pagoda Avenue.
So, was this actually underwater at any time, or?
Yes, the science says that the limestone rock was created underwater from the shells of sea life. So when you get to the shell area or the slag area, you can find fossils of seashells, of the little shells. And they say as the shells, sea life didn't need their shells for housing, it fell to the bottom of the water supply, and pressure created the rock. So the further deeper down you get, you would get solid rock. Usually you get your fossils towards the top or around the edges or the sides of the mountain bed.
Okay.
And they say this cave would not have been found if they hadn't blasted to the highway. There are no natural openings that man has ever found into the cave. And Whisper Rocks, the second cave we go through, was found through a sinkhole hole in the ground. And our large stalagmites are inactive. They have that very dry appearance. And the one thing about this area, there are no stalactites from the ceiling above the stalagmites. Cracks in the ceiling allow water to come in for the stalagmites to form. There are formations to the back. So at one time, water was more prominent in the front area, but then shifted the water supply to the back. And I see we have our little, I guess you call it fog back there. The rain, the mist. The formations behind you, I like to tell you that they were placed there. So the men who opened the cave thought there wasn't much to look at, and in 2003, a safety inspector told Maine he needed to build a wall for a little more support for the ceiling. So that is, of course, man-made. And the only reason, there we go, we have lights. The only reason the formations were placed back there, some of them, was because they didn't think there was much to it.
Awesome.
This is the largest room in the cave, but as you go deeper in the cave, you get more of the calcite formations. There's a very large flowstone down there. And the door we see is one of the original doors. The cave was found in May of 1930. Mr. Stewart was a farmer. He decided to open the cave, opened it by June of 1931, called it the Highway May Cave. And the doors, the bars were placed there to keep people from breaking into the cave. And they did keep one of the original doors. Mr. Stewart's old safe was in the huge pile rubble. He didn't have a gift shop. He actually had a little table inside the cave. And if you wanted a tour, you came into the cave and bought a ticket.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And we have a 37-foot wall space till you reach the ceiling. The beams were put in place in 1930 as a safety precaution. The beams actually had wooden planks going across, and they were there to catch anything that might fall from the ceiling. Once they rotted in the mid-1960s, a new type of safety was to put cement over top of the rock. So they would spray the ceiling with cement. You may look into the pit if you want, and you walk around and look. The pit is a room at your feet. It doesn't go anywhere, and it's not approved for part of the tour.
Oh, that's right here? Or?
Right over there. And we're going to go down there next. I'll turn some lights off behind you. So how long are you in town, or just passing through?
Passing through a long road trip. Yesterday, I went from Niagara Falls, New York to New York City. But I came back to Supper.
Yeah.
So we stopped at this
Because then you pay for parking, but there's hotels on the Canadian side that you can get down to the visitor center on Canadian.